If you really believe we live on a spinning sphere, please reconsider. The ball earth proof is just cartoon and theories, as you can see here. A picture is worth more than 1,000 words. Earth doesn't move, light doesn't reflect down curved surfaces, Earth does not rotate, compasses can't work on a ball, a Nikon P900 or P1000 camera shows it's flat, and an astrolabe tracks all the stars, and it's a flat Earth tool. Earth cannot be making 3 separate rotations while our North Star Polaris remains fixed directly over the North Pole. They know you live on a flat Earth. They just don't want you to know that, playing proof and the reality of the real world with the flatness and horizon level at different heights above ground, and where the commercial airplanes fly, and above that as well, 20, 30, 40, 50 kilometers. Even though a commercial airplane only flies at maximum 12 kilometers, maximum 13. And military airplanes go all the way to 20 kilometers above. But this is the reality of the real world. It's a flat horizon level and flat plane, flat everything as you can see. So at ground level and several miles or kilometers up in the sky, and of course beyond that. So all from airplane windows. Where's the curve? And of course, let's forget about how some companies that produce airplane windows, they install that curvature, so that the actual glass makes it look like curvature. That's a distortion of reality. Flight dynamics summary. In this summary, we want to describe the flight dynamics with equations. This is, however, very difficult. To simplify it a bit, we have to make some simplifying assumptions. We assume that there is a flat Earth. The Earth's curvature is 0. There is a non-rotating Earth, no Coriolis accelerations and such are present. Why? Well, because the Earth is flat and the Earth does not rotate. Even the flight dynamics summary, they say this because they have no choice left, but because they don't want to say that the Earth is flat, they say, oh, we're making assumptions that the Earth's curvature is 0. This is the reality of the real world in the flight dynamics summary. And NASA says that the atmosphere is stationary over a flat and non-rotating Earth. NASA says Earth is flat. Is the stationary atmosphere over a flat non-rotating Earth. Concluding remarks on nasa.gov centers Dryden PDF. The non-linear equations of motion at the atmospheric model. Flying in a stationary atmosphere over a flat non-rotating Earth. And the helicopter equations of motion are given in body axis with respect to a flat, non-rotating Earth. The reality of the real world, pure nature and science. Long live the reality of the real world. That awkward moment when you're reading through documents on nasa.gov website, which is the official NASA government website, and they say the Earth is stationary, non-rotating, and flat. God bless us all. Greetings, fellow flat Earth believer. Just like this guy and my good friends, I too am a pilot. Here I am at 25,000 feet, and as you can tell, there is no curvature. Clearly the Earth is flat, and we pilots must come together to share the truth with the sheep. Concluding remarks: a stationary atmosphere over a flat, non-rotating Earth. The National Aeronautics and Space Administration, January 8, 1987. In the 80s. 35 government documents admit flat Earth. Government. These are the 30. So as you can see, I'm not going to read all of them because you can actually see that the arrows point to the declarations of official documents. This is in The Party, which is a movie from 1968. If you say there is an elephant in the room, you mean that there is an obvious problem or difficult situation that people do not want to talk about. Cognitive dissonance. These simple devices prove the Earth is flat. Periscope from the submarines, compass, sundial, level that the men use in construction, gyroscope, sextant, planisphere, and astrolabe. How many perfectly flat horizons should it take to form a ball? What part of a ball can you see a flat surface? This tells you Earth is level. This tells you Earth is flat and stationary, thanks to the flat horizon. But I did see the curvature from my plane window. I did, yes. We see the curvature on ground level as well, because the materials that the companies use to make the windows of the planes are of such nature that they distort the reality that you see through the window. They curve the borders precisely because to make people believe that they see the curvature. Make windows without this distortion, just like it happens with the cameras, with the lenses, with no fisheye lens. It's called fisheye lens, and then you will see the reality of the real world. You see, the people who live on a spinning ball Earth with curved water, they say that the curvature. This is like the interior revealed structure. You see the curvature. The engineering behind this whole matter that people say, oh, I saw the curvature. It's sad, but it's the reality of the real world. This is the SR-71 Blackbird, top speed 2200 miles per hour, which is 3,500 kilometers. Imagine 3,500 kilometers per hour. In 1 hour, you traveled 3,500 kilometers. Using the calculations, spherical trigonometry shows that the curvature drop parallel to the radius is 896 feet, which is 273 meters per minute. Artificial horizon level at night, strategic reconnaissance aircraft. If the Earth was a ball and flying level, the pilot would have to nose down the aircraft these amount of feet, so almost 900 feet and 270 meters, depending if you like feet or meters, for every minute distance. So every minute you have to be careful to lower your nose down, because according to spherical trigonometry, the plane travels on the surface of a sphere which spins in space. So you have to put this, below the aircraft's downward to go along with the Earth's curvature. You have to stick to the spinning ball Earth with the exterior curvature, but the pilot doesn't do this. And this is one of the primitive airplanes. There's much better today. A gyroscope will stay perfectly upright relative to its starting position. The gyroscope allows us to understand that the Earth is flat and level. How does the artificial horizon stay constant while the gyro doesn't? This is one more ignored problem on the globe model. Yet it works perfect on a flat Earth. If we were living on a giant ball, an airplane would constantly have to dip its nose all the time. If not, it would find itself at over 80,000 feet in just half an hour, as soon as it would be floating around in outer space. Because you live on a sphere, so you have to adapt your movement going down on the curvature of the spinning ball Earth with curved water. These 500 years trying to explain a spherical Earth. So sad. This is your captain speaking. We are about to dip our nose forward slightly to account for Earth's curvature for the next 9 hours. You should consider this when you're traveling, especially over the Atlantic or the Pacific Ocean. She has the captain, make sure that you dip your nose of the airplane. I don't want to go into space, right? Let's be anti-hypocrites. Air map of the world, 1945, map used for war strategy and air travel. In 1945, at the end of the Second World War, it's a flat Earth map. Hundreds of flights every day that make fuel stops that make no sense on a globe, but make perfect sense on a flat Earth. Shortest distance on a ball Earth would be this route. This is how the airlines make you go, which makes no sense on a ball Earth. Why do you go in a triangle where you can go in a straight line? No shortcuts on the flat Earth. However, it makes perfect sense on a flat Earth. And United Nations logo looks very familiar. The gyroscope is the only instrument needed to prove the Earth is flat and motionless. Refers to the rigidity in space, refers to the principle that a gyroscope remains in a fixed position in the plane in which it is spinning. Regardless of the position of its base, a gyro tends to remain rigid in space with its axis of rotation pointed in a constant direction. Blessed be the gyroscope. Sailors have used the same stars for thousands of years to navigate. Nothing has changed in the skies. If we are spinning in space some millions of miles per hour, shouldn't the stars have changed by now, like several millions of times? From Cape Town, South Africa to Sydney, Australia. I hope you understand why it doesn't make any sense to travel in a triangular way, but on the normal map, which is not even the best map, but it's actually a good way to start if you haven't read Vibes of Cosmos. You go in a straight line from South Africa to Australia, because this is how the world works. The reality of the real world. Sailors follow the constellations, which have never changed for thousands of years, and these are some of their maps used. The astrolabe has been used for thousands of years to track the celestial bodies' positions over a flat, stationary, geocentric Earth, because the constellations are the same, because nothing moves. Sextants compare a celestial object's position relative to the horizon, could not work on a curved horizon or a spinning Earth, making a sextant. A triangle is defined as a plane figure with 3 straight sides and 3 angles. Therefore, triangulation would be impossible across a curved surface. Simple mathematics. Again, the traveling on the Earth, it doesn't make any sense to go from South Africa to Australia, or from Australia and New Zealand to South Africa in this way, but it makes sense in the reality of the real world on Earth's map. And of course, Vibes of Cosmos explains more. Circumnavigation is very possible on a flat plane. It's very simple. This is how you circumnavigate, and you say, oh, it's around the world. Yes, around the world, because we live on a flat plane, flat water, and this is how you go round and round the world, no problem. It's amazing how many people think that circumnavigation requires a ball. Circumnavigation does not require a ball. Circumnavigation requires a flat plane. But indoctrination is such a powerful weapon. Running around your neighborhood doesn't make your neighborhood round. You see? And you can run around all day you want. Circumnavigation on a flat plane. Circumnavigate, to sail round, pass round by water. Past participle, yeah, circum, word forming element meaning around, roundabout, all around, on all sides, from Latin adverb. You see, literally in a circle, not a sphere. A circle is not a sphere, and a sphere is not a circle. This is circumnavigation. A compass proves a flat Earth. Everywhere is south, with the exception of Hyperborea, North Pole. On a flat Earth, a compass always points to the North Pole. If the Earth were a globe, a compass would point east and west on the equator, and in the southern hemisphere, it would point at the South Pole. But everything points north because we live on a flat plane. It's pure science, it's pure reality. The Flat Earth Fountain, Darling Park in Sydney, Australia, and then Flat Earth Clocks. First voyage of Captain James Cook, circumnavigation. Around the world we go, around in a circle on a flat plane. Very simple, and I hope that this made sense. We'll see each other in the next video. And I'm sorry for the cognitive dissonance.